Hello, everyone. This is meteorologist Ted Keller. I'm actually on a vacation in Florida, and but I'm using Canva to record this, which I think is pretty cool. I just wanted to bring you a quick severe weather update. First of all, there is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from, let's say, Pittsburgh over to Columbus, Ohio, parts of Kentucky, and a big chunk of West Virginia. That's tomorrow, which is Monday. The main threat there appears to be hail and gusty winds, although a slight tornado risk is possible with that particular outlook. Then we have another quiet break, and then we're going to jump ahead here. And when the Storm Prediction Center has these long term forecasts, they do it differently. Instead of the five categories, they just do a yellow and an orange, 15 or 30%. So they're targeting parts of Iowa, small chunks of Nebraska and Missouri for Thursday. This is, I think, ahead of a warm front. So, again, probably not much of a tornado threat with that, but mostly hail and high winds. And then we have a rather broad area of severe weather from Detroit down through the heart of Illinois and Missouri, all the way down into parts of Texas. Again, 15% probabilities this far out are pretty significant. This is ahead of a cold front, and I'll show you the 500 millibar charts here in a second. And this could include all modes of severe weather. And again, the three modes are damaging hail, damaging winds, and tornado occurrence. So let's look at some 500 millibar charts, which is very useful on the longer range and should be where you start most of the time. It's looking a little complex out west, actually. So we have this big trough. You can see the purple stronger winds coming in across Baja and into New Mexico and Kansas. Then you have this big kind of enclosed shortwave with strong winds coming in on the backside up in the Pacific Northwest. So that's the setup for Thursday. So that's the Iowa threat, the first one that I showed you. And then if we keep moving on here to the next 500 millibar chart, this is Friday. Both of these were at midday, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time. And so on Friday, again, and note that that system in the Northwest is dropping, digging in, still broad sort of flow going on across the plains and the lower and central plains. So generally speaking, when you see a trough of low pressure in the western United States, then you know the alarms go up for the possibility of severe weather, especially if moisture, humidity, higher dew points, all those things would apply here, are in place. So then we go to the weekend, Saturday, that system in the southwest is kind of taking shape, ejecting higher winds into Colorado, New Mexico, eventually Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma. And that continues into Sunday, where you have a kind of a wrapped up system right over eastern Colorado. Now, of course, every single time I advance this 24 more hours, the certainty starts to become less and less. But it is still, I think, a pattern worth watching. And severe weather will be connected to these weather systems each of these days. It's just maybe the details will change a little bit. And then the last thing I'll look at is NIU, Northern Illinois University, in my proud alma mater, does a supercell composite. So this is for the 20th through the 26th of April. Generally speaking, supercells are just the thing you're going to need for any severe weather. So when you see those areas of high probability, it's comparing the climate model here. You see a high risk there from the Arkansas-Missouri border down into the heart of so-called Tornado Alley, although I don't like that term at all. But we're talking about Oklahoma and Texas. So that's week 2. And then we go ahead to week 3. Final graphic I'll show you. Still pretty active from the heart, from Nebraska all the way down through the heart of Kansas, Oklahoma, and West Texas. So that ends up, it actually goes into the early part of May. That goes from April 27th to May 3rd. So after a needed break from severe weather, after the numerous tornado warnings and tornadoes that have occurred so far this year, almost record breaking, it does appear as if that possibility is ticking up once again. So I'll have other updates as more information is available.